Okay.
Yes, teacher.
Can you hear me?
Yes, teacher.
Eso sí.
Okay, so let's open our books. We are going to start a new unit. Don't forget that today is the day you have to hand in the homework. The homework was a writing an email thanking your friend for staying there and well describe as much as possible. You can use both. You can have both emails to give you an example or to take phrases from each of either of these emails. Okay, don't forget that for the ones who haven't done that.
Teacher,
Yes, lady.
teacher, ¿lo podría subir al rato la tarea? Es que no la alcancé a subir por
No
mi
problem.
trabajo.
Yes, no problem. You have here until 11 o'clock at night. Life in the city. We have in this unit, we will be checking comparatives, superlatives, have got. We're gonna be reading a text about life at the top. There is a listening, an American in London. There is a writing describing a place. We have everyday English directions, town and country vocabulary. No, but first of all, look at this bird. What's the name of this bird?
Dog.
It's a bird, obviously.
Well, in Spanish is paloma.
One more time, please repeat.
Pigeon.
Pigeon, yes, paloma, pigeon. Yeah. Where can we find these pigeons? Where are they? Where can we find them?
In parks,
In parks? In
Buildings.
what?
Buildings.
Buildings, yeah. Are they a problem? Are
in
they
what
a problem?
in what sense?
I don't know. In any sense.
No,
For
not at
example,
all.
if you see too many birds, too many pigeons in the street or in the city, in the parks, do you think is a problem? There is a problem to the city?
No.
Not really.
Not at all.
Not at all. Yes. One student before this class told me that sometimes the only problem is that the fecal material, when they are doing their necessities, sometimes it's a little bit dirty, the parks or the streets, no? When there are too many. Yeah. It's the only problem that we can find in this bird. Okay. Perfect. We're gonna watch the video introduction, so please pay attention to.
Welcome to Unit 9. This unit is all about city life. I live in Leeds, a big city in the north of England. It's a beautiful place and I love living there because the people are really friendly. Where do you live? What's it like there?
I live in Rimini, in Italy, and it's beautiful in summer.
I live in Córdoba, which is a small city in the south of Spain.
I live in Hamburg, which is in the north of Germany, and it's very beautiful.
In this unit, you will learn how to describe cities and compare them to each other. Tokyo is bigger than Madrid. Moscow is colder than Paris. You'll also find out about one of the most amazing sights in the world, Central Park in New York. It's America's biggest and oldest city park. What do you think it's like to live at the top of a skyscraper? I'm scared of heights, so I wouldn't like it at all. In reading and speaking, you'll find out what life in the clouds is like and what some of the everyday problems are. Everyday English practices directions and the prepositions that describe how to get from one place to another, like down, past, along. Missed a class? You can go online to look at the material again and do the online activities. Are you ready? Let's get started.
All right, we go to next page, please. Next page is about comparatives, no? So our topic for these days, for today and the rest of the week, is going to be comparatives. We have work with a partner, think of a city or in your country. So for example, it's in the north of Morelos. It is located in the center of the country. It's not near a coast or is not in the coast. It's surrounded by mountains. You can visit museums. There are parks. There aren't many activities to do, but it's okay. It's fine. So the city I'm talking about is here, Cuernavaca, no? Vale. So can you think of other example of a city? All right, so we go to the next part. It says, listen to the sentences. Which sentences are about, look at the pictures. We have two different well-known cities. Which are the cities that we are seeing on the photos, that we are looking at the photos?
New York.
Only New York?
No.
Some of London.
Uh-huh. So where is New York, guys?
It is in USA. Well, United States.
It's in the northeast or northwest? Northeast, no?
East, I think.
Northeast. And
England West.
it's in the west, England?
Yes. Ajá.
Maybe. It's in the center, no? Según
Yes.
yo, it's in the center. It's in the center of England, no? It's the capital of England. New York is not the capital of USA, only is one of the most popular cities in USA. Okay, so we're gonna listen to the sentences. You have to identify which place is it? Is it London? Is it New York?
9.1. London or New York? 1,
It's on the River Thames.
2,
It was first called New Amsterdam.
3,
It's sometimes called the Big Apple.
4,
It's home to Wembley Stadium.
5,
It has 5,800 skyscrapers.
6,
The highest building is 310 meters.
7,
The people living there speak 800 different languages.
8,
Paddington Bear went to stay there.
One more time, we listen one by one.
9.1 London or New York? 1,
It's on the River Thames.
So it's on the River Thames. Which city are they talking about?
London?
London.
London, yes. The most popular, not popular, but it's one of the biggest rivers in England. Yes, Thames, correct.
1,
It's on the River Thames.
2,
It was first called New Amsterdam.
Which one? London or New York?
London.
London.
London, you think so? Okay, maybe.
3,
It's sometimes called the Big Apple.
4,
New York.
New York.
New York.
It's home to Wembley Stadium.
5,
I don't know.
It has 5,008.
I don't know, it's not the correct answer.
London.
Any ideas? You can
New
get
York. New York.
probably New York.
4,
It's home to Wembley Stadium.
5,
Bye.
It has 5,800 skyscrapers.
What is skyscrapers?
What is the sky?
Cielo.
Scraper, rascador,
Rascacielos.
rascacielos, exactly. Skyscraper.
New York.
Mhm. New York, maybe.
6,
The highest building is 310 meters.
Which one do you think?
London.
7,
The people living there speak 800 different languages.
New York.
Yes, I
8,
think New York.
Paddington Bear went to stay there.
Paddington Bear is a famous character.
London.
It's a famous cartoon.
London.
London, okay. Vamos a ver cuál es la correcta. Yes, so number 1, London, obviously, is correct. Number 2, New Amsterdam. De hecho, fue porque muchos de de las 12 colonias, 12 colonies that moved to USA, they call it New Amsterdam because it was similar to Amsterdam. Era similar a Amsterdam. Por eso la llamaron así, pero era New York, yeah. Number 3 is correct. Yep, the Big Apple, the famous area. Number 4, it is Wembley Stadium, is in London, yeah. New York, number 5 is correct, the skyscrapers. London, the highest building, solamente mide 310 meters. In New York, there are more tall buildings. The people living there speak 800 languages. That is in New York. London is the last one, Paddington Bear. Yeah, Paddington Bear. No beer, bear. Aquí sí se dice como bear. Okay, so we have here London and New York. There is a conversation between a man and a girl, no?
9.3. Which do you prefer?
Which do you prefer, London or New York?
Well, I'm American, so of course I love New York more.
I think London's more interesting. And it's a lot bigger than New York.
True, New York is much smaller than London, but the buildings are so much taller, and for me, that's more exciting.
I guess the weather's better in New York.
Well, people think so, but it's worse than London for rain.
Really?
Any questions about vocabulary here in the conversation, guys? We have some words which are in bold, en negritas, yeah, in bold. So we have more interesting, for example, here, bigger, smaller, taller, more exciting, better, worse. Why? Because we are comparing these two cities. We are comparing these two cities, no? When we want to compare, we have to modify the adjectives. Modify the adjectives, no? London is more interesting, no? More interesting than New York, no? It's a lot bigger than New York, no? New York is much smaller than London, yeah? It's comparing. All of these words, adjectives, we modify and we create the comparison or the comparison or the comparative adjective, no? As you notice, some of them we add, like in Spanish, more, but others, like small, like short adjective, for example, small, we add ER, no? Agregamos que ER. So for comparing, sometimes we add ER in some adjectives and we add before the adjective more, no? Okay, so we have bigger, smaller, because they are short adjectives. Entonces, no es correcto decir is more big, yeah? For example, I think New York is
Teacher,
more
bigger,
big. This is incorrect.
teacher, pero
Ah, yeah.
bigger no sería un adjective.
Yeah, it's an adjective, big. But in this case, we have to modify because I am comparing. Yeah, than London. When I am comparing, as I said, we have to modify. So in this case, it's not possible because it's a short adjective. Entonces sería bigger. Lo mismo pasa con smaller. Pero aquí sí puedo decir exciting, sería more exciting. Because it's a long adjective. Yeah. Interesting.
Interesting.
More interesting. Yeah. More interesting. Y también tenemos irregular adjectives. Good, ya no sería gooder, suena mal. Entonces sería better. Bad, tampoco puedo decir better, sino
Worst.
So more examples of this, más ejemplos aquí. Life in London is more exciting than in New York. No, here I am comparing New York has smaller smaller ports than in London, no? Puertos.
Teacher, example, London is cleaner than New York.
London is what? I didn't hear you. Can you?
Cleaner.
Cleaner. Yes.
In New York.
For example, London is cleaner than in New York. Bueno, que está the same. Yeah. Okay, so we have more adjectives: tall, taller, wet, wetter, beautiful, more beautiful. ¿Cómo sería con expensive?
More expensive.
More expensive.
Nice. Nice.
Nice.
Nicer. Nicer, correct.
Nice.
Correct. All
Older.
older. Cheap.
Cheaper.
Cheaper.
Yes, correct. Friendly. Friendly, aquí es un long adjective, pero es una de las cuantas excepciones. A pesar de que tenemos, está largo, sería friendlier. ¿Vale? No more friendly. Aunque hay algunas personas que siguen diciendo more friendly, entonces se podría aceptar las dos, porque es como un tipo irregular. ¿Ya? More friendly o friendlier. Yes, both are correct. Good.
Better.
Better. Hot.
Cold. No, ¿verdad?
Hot. I don't think it's hotter.
Hotter.
It's hotter. Yeah, for example, today here in Morelos is hotter than yesterday. It's hotter than yesterday. I don't know where you live, but here in Morelos, it's hotter than yesterday. Crowded.
More crowded.
Correct. More crowded. Bad.
Worse.
Worse. Cold.
Older.
Colder. Correct. Polite.
More polite.
More polite. Yeah, more polite. Okay, we continue with this exercise. Look at the pictures that you have of the two cities. It has pictures of the buildings, the weather, the metro, the parks, and the people. So which are of New York and which are for London? Work with a partner and compare the two cities. Use I think and the adjectives here. But instead of doing that, I'd like you to do sentences. Yeah. For example, these two buildings. No, I think the Shar building is more beautiful than this one. Yeah, I think the Shar building is more beautiful, but the Freedom Tower is taller than the Shard, no? Is taller than the Shard. Okay, try to do sentences with these photos, these adjectives. Yeah, don't forget the rule here. La regla aquí, don't forget taller, wetter. Yeah. You can talk about the subway, the underground. The underground and the subway are the metro, el metro, ¿no? El tren. Underground es en London. Okay, so in your notebook, in a sheet of paper, in Word, please make sentences. Ahorita vamos a escuchar, but I would like you to practice. I would like you to write them down.
In Wordwood, what page?
No, it's not workbook, it's the student's book. It's the same page, 91, student's book. You're going to write sentences comparing these two people. So look at the photos, check the photos, more or less some ideas about London or what you think. It's about your opinion, no? Es más que nada your opinion, but you have to write.
Okay.
Okay, let's listen to that.
9.4. I think it's taller.
I think the Freedom Tower is taller than the Shard, but I think the Shard is more beautiful.
I think the Underground is more expensive than the subway, and the trains are more crowded.
There are more parks in London, and they are bigger and nicer, I think.
I think the weather in New York is hotter in summer and colder in winter. It's also wetter, but I think New York is sunnier.
I think the people in New York are friendlier, but I think Londoners are more polite.
Number 2, guys. ¿Cómo podrían decir aquí? The subway or the underground? Anyone? Denise, Andrea, Marlene, Richard?
The underground, the underground is most expensive.
Dan?
Is most expensive than. Creo que puedo moverle tantito para ver las oraciones.
Here?
Thanks. Most expensive than The underground ship.
Than the subway, ¿no?
Ajá, than the subway, yeah, than the subway. Por ahí nada más escuché que varias veces me dices the most. No, it's more.
No, the more.
More. Yes, Richard, were you going to say one sentence?
Iba a decir eso.
Okay. Yes, Denise.
The parks on London are more nice than New York.
More nice. Nice. Is it a short adjective?
Nicer.
Or an
The parks in London are more nicer than.
Sigue
No.
diciendo more.
Sí, the parks in London are nicer than New York.
Yay. Anyone else, guys?
I think the New York Hall is colder than the London,
Okay, it's colder than London.
but I think the London
London weather.
more nice. No, it's more western.
Western. Weather is wetter. 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 No more. Wetter. And what about the people?
The weather in New York are sunnier than London, maybe.
Sunnier.
Sunnier?
Sunnier. Is sunnier. Yes. The people, anyone?
Can I?
Yeah.
The parks in London are nicer than New York, but parks in New York are bigger.
Okay. People in London, o Londoners también le podemos decir, are nicer, are friendlier than New Yorkers, New Yorkers, ¿no? O también se les dicen Yankees, ¿no? Aunque se ofenden luego, se les dicen Yankees. New Yorkers are more polite, maybe, yeah, than in London, no? Okay, guys, so final activity before we go, because I have to go early today. Tengo que irme un poco más temprano. This activity, listening activity, guys.
9.5. Larry, an American living and working in London.
No, he is an American working in London. Yeah. So he's gonna mention what he feels, his opinion of London and New York.
Well, I like both New York and London, but they're good for different things. New York is easier to walk around because it's smaller. The underground is better than the subway. It's much nicer, but it is more expensive. Of course, there are a lot of older buildings in London, so it's kind of more interesting. And I really love the parks here. My favorite is Regent's Park, but there are so many. I read that nearly half of London is green. That's amazing. I like it here in summer. It's a lot hotter in New York, and it can get way too hot there. Winters are warmer here in London, but they're so gray. In New York, winters are colder and snowier, but sunnier. As for the people, well, generally Americans are friendlier to strangers than the British. Life is faster in New York, though, and Londoners are probably more polite.
"9.5. Larry,
One more time.
an American living and working in London.
Well, I like both New York and London, but they're good for different things. New York is easier to walk around because it's smaller. The underground is better than the subway. It's much nicer, but it is more expensive. Of course, there are a lot of older buildings in London, so it's kind of more interesting. And I really love the parks here. My favorite is Regent's Park, but there are so many. I read that nearly half of London is green. That's amazing. I like it here in summer. It's a lot hotter in New York, and it can get way too hot there. Winters are warmer here in London, but they're so gray. In New York, winters are colder and snowier, but sunnier. As for the people, well, generally Americans are friendlier to strangers than the British. Life is faster in New York, though, and Londoners are probably more polite.
Yeah, so those are the answers, no? At the underground. Can you read the number 2, please, Denise?
The underground is better than the subway. It's much nicer, but it is more expensive.
Correct. Mariela, can you read the next, number 3?
Yes, there are a lot of older buildings in London, so it's kind of more interesting.
Yes, thank you. Michelle, Andrea?
Here.
Thank you.
It is a lot hotter in New York. Winters are warmer here in London, but they are so gray.
Andrea, the other Andrea?
Yes, teacher. Americans are friendly to strangers than the British.
Yes. And finally, Marlene, pardon. Marlene.
Life is faster in New York, though Londoners are probably more polite.
More polite. Okay, guys. Okay, that's all for today. Before I forget, antes de que se me olvidó comentarles ayer que ayer fue nuestro último jueves, ya que a partir del próximo jueves estaré tomando un curso de 9 a 1 de la tarde. Entonces, básicamente se cruza con nuestra hora. Entonces, todos los jueves, solamente los jueves, only Thursdays, from next week till the end of the semester, no estaré aquí, entonces no tendremos clase, ¿vale? Yo estaré tomando un curso de nivel avanzado en otra escuela, in other school, en angloamericano, con la competencia. Ajá, es por parte de la UEM, entonces tenemos que capacitarnos y actualizarnos, ¿vale? Entonces, solamente los jueves. Los demás días, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, normal, ¿vale? Entonces, los jueves, Thursdays, los vamos a dedicar a la plataforma. Ese día yo dejaré tareas desde el miércoles en la tarde-noche para que ustedes la hagan el jueves. Tendrán jueves, viernes. Y habrá veces que les diga que tienen que hacer tal página del libro.
Okay, teacher.
Hi, teacher.
Thanks. See you.
Thank you. See you.
See you, teacher.
Bye, teacher.